her. She just received a kidney transplant, actually a little more than a week ago. So I appreciate you for being a brave soldier and coming on our show doing this interview. We are now joined by David Blackwell Jr., one of Sister Wanda's children. He is her third child, her son. So we're happy to welcome David Blackwell Jr. to our show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, and we're going to go ahead at this point and we're going to find out, Sister Wanda, you said you had a soldier that came to the forefront and said, let's see what we have to do to make this happen. And would you go ahead and tell our viewers at this point, who was that soldier that stepped up for you?
Man, my children were sitting around the table, and I said, I just need a donor. I wonder who can give me a kidney. And before I tell you that, they have a program where if people that are 50 and older, for whatever reason, lost their kidney or deceased, they have a program where you can get on it and get a kidney from there. And because I just wanted a kidney, I would have accepted one of those as well. But my doctor was against it. Because of my age, he says, you're younger, you need to get a younger kidney and it needs to be alive. And so I brought that information back home to my family. And I had one little person who says, Mom, can I give you a kidney? I'm like, huh? That's my oldest son, David Blackwell Jr. He says, Mom, I'll give you a kidney. I said, son, you sure? He said, oh, yes, ma'am, it's a no-brainer.
Oh, wow.
Meet my son.
Okay, well, David, your mom came home and she shared with you what she was dealing with, what she was going through. Once she actually told you what was going on, emotionally, how did it affect you knowing that this is your mother?
Well, Pastor, she had been going through some other things that she told you before about the sarcoid, which is what Bernie Mac died from, and she was diabetic as well. So me being the youngest really didn't have anything to do with it. If you've ever met any of my sisters, you know I'm the largest person. I might be the youngest, but I'm bigger than everyone else, and I can go out and I can move things and I can prevent things from happening with my size. But this one thing I couldn't do anything about. I always felt powerless when it came down to her health issues because I couldn't just pull them out of her, regardless of the physical strength that I have. So when the time came where there was something that I could do other than go get the medicine or put the insulin in the needle or, you know, wipe her back when she's, you know what I mean?
Right.
It was something that I could actually do that I felt like had a little more power. And my mother was there for me in a lot of situations where I've seen mothers say, well, my son is a lost cause and I don't want anything else to do with him. Right. And I had some issues that I had dealt with in the past, but my mother stayed by me and knew that she didn't give up on me.
Okay, well, let me ask you, how old are you?
I'm 24 years old.
24 years old, a young man. So you say your mother, you was having some issues and stuff, but mama did what?
She stayed with me. I mean, there was times where I couldn't find a job. There was times where I was getting in trouble with the law. Not necessarily going to jail, but tickets and court dates and probation and things of that nature. And where any other mother would say, not only am I not coming to your court date, you got to get out of my house. She stayed, she kept me here, she helped me, she took me to my court dates. As angry as it made her that I was involved with the law, she stayed there. And I can't, there's nothing I can do to repay that.
Right.
Even after this surgery, I still feel the debt to her.
Okay. Now, when you told her, Mom, I'll do it. Mom, I'll give you a kidney. Right. What did she say to you at that point?
Son, you can't do that. You got to go to work. And like she said, it's a mother's intuition to not want anything bad to happen. But at this point, it was, Mom, you raised me up this far. Let me make this decision as an adult. You know, not as your son, but as a grown man, to basically put my body on the line.
Okay. So basically, you simply told Mom, you've been everything that I've needed from the 24 years of my life. Right. You said you had felt helpless in a lot of areas of your life to where you couldn't do certain things for, and this one thing materialized, and you said, wait, I'm David Blackwell Jr., I'm your son. This is something that I can do. This is something that I want to do. So at that process, when you made that decision, she accepted that she would go ahead and allow you to do that because it's your decision as an adult. When did you have to actually start your procedure as far as getting tested and all of that?
To be honest, it took quite some time where I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, yeah, I'm gonna do it, and I would call the people and I would leave messages and I would not get a call back, and you know, I guess they wanted to make sure that I was sincere with my feelings. But it was about, I would say about 3 to 4 months that I was constantly, like, she would call me and say, son, you said you was going to do it, and folks asking me, they hadn't heard from you. So I would call, and like I said, about 3 to 4 months after the initial decision was made, I went to my first doctor's appointment.
Okay. And now, during this whole process, I know that we deal with people every day of our life, and I know there was probably some people that you know, friends or somebody that would cause you to want to second guess yourself. How did you handle that?
Well, I was questioned. The biggest question I received was, "Are you scared?" And she raised me kind of sort of alone with the help of my 2 sisters, and 2 women raising a man. I think their biggest point in raising me is no fear, toughness, no crying, no fear. And so I wasn't. Some people ask me, "Are you scared? What made you decide to do that?" And it's like I said, with the other things that she had been through that I couldn't do anything about, this was something where I could stand up and and be heard. I guess figuratively speaking.
Right.
This is my mom. I'm her son. This was what I'll do anything for her.
Okay.
Period. So it was like there was not one time where I said, maybe do I not want to do it? Every time it came to mind, it was like, how fast can we get this over with? I'm ready to get it done so she can begin the road to recovery.
Okay. All right. And it's amazing that even with some obstacles that may have came against you, you stayed steadfast in your belief, and this is what I want to do. This is my mother. It doesn't make any difference what's going on with anybody else. This is something that I'm choosing to do. Now, you got to also realize, to our viewers, in the process of this, even though David was a donor to his mother, basically a life-saving situation, in the process, he actually put himself in harm's way because now his whole life has changed to where he had 2 kidneys. He's only got 1 kidney now. So would you just go ahead and let our viewers know the importance now of how your life have been changed, because now with 1 kidney you got to do things that you wouldn't have normally had to do if you had 2 kidneys. You know what I'm saying? So it's like not like you have anything to fall back on.
Right. Well, my healing process I'm still in the middle of right now.
Okay.
So my day-to-day regular life has not began yet.
Okay.
You know? So there are a few things, you know, I mean, I think anyone who goes to the doctor is going to get told, hey, stop smoking.
Okay,
so,
stop smoking.
So, I mean, my cigarette addiction has
Right.
begun to dwindle and eventually will be non-existent.
Okay.
But for the most part, my job is very physical.
Okay.
And I drink water already
Mm-hmm.
due to the fact that I work outside and my job is very physical. I generally drink a lot of water, and I don't eat as much as a person who has an office job, who just sits at their desk and snacks away.
Okay.
You know, I'm constantly moving, and I have what the doctors call a pretty healthy lifestyle.
Okay.
Already, other than the one simple fact of me smoking. So, you know, I begin to slow that situation down and kind of getting a hold on it, where I'll be able to stop eventually. And other than that, you know, they always say drink more water, but I'll go through a pack of water in a week and a half just being at work, so alone, you know.
Okay. What about your eating habits?
They didn't really have much to say about my eating habits. My blood pressure was never an issue. but my cholesterol was slightly high. It wasn't to a dangerous level yet, but they wanted me to keep an eye on it. So I love fried chicken. I love hot wings.
Okay.
And I love pizza.
Okay.
But these are things that aren't loving me back. So
Okay.
I would have to, get on the baked side of foods.
Okay.
I already like fruits and vegetables, so that wasn't hard to just boost up how much I take on. So.
Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to our commercial break, and then we're going to be right back with my guests, Wanza Sanders and David Blackwell Jr. right after this.